Los Angeles is a city known for many things. It's a city of stars, beautiful beaches, and traffic. But while fans may be stuck in gridlock to make the 30-mile trip between Dodger Stadium and the Big A, they will be treated to some of the best players in the game. The best hitter in the game, Mike Trout.
He'll shoot one out toward deep left center field, headed toward the rocks, incoming! Big fly for Mike Trout.
And the best pitcher in the game, Clayton Kershaw.
Off-speed pitch and struck him out.
While many have worn both jerseys, fans are clear on their loyalties, hoping for bragging rights as these two teams battle to see if the city will be painted Dodger blue.
Kemp hits a high drive to left center field. Track, wall, gone.
Or Angel Red.
Hit well at the wall, gone. Big fly, Ohtani-san.
The 2018 Freeway Series starts next.
Well, it's certainly good to be back home. Certainly not enjoying these hot temperatures, over 100 degrees here at the Big A. As we kick off the Freeway Series, it's game one between the Angels and the Los Angeles Dodgers. We welcome you inside the Big A and back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Kubica. I'm Victor Rojas, and every time these two teams meet, it's always a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, you go back to last season, 4 spectacular games, 3 of which were very tight. The playoff atmosphere and overall the Angels have played pretty good baseball against the Dodgers here at home.
Yeah, Victor, when you think about it, 36-21 the Angels are against the Dodgers here at the Big A in interleague play. They really have swung the bats very well, led by Mike Trout and his ability to drive the ball out of the ballpark on a consistent basis, even against the very best pitchers. But Anderson Simmons, Albert Pujols is hitting over 300 in his career versus the Dodgers has come through. But the Dodgers have battled all the way through. And even last season, when you think about that win they had, they actually found a way to win a game on a strikeout and it being a wild throw at first base. So 4-1 in the last 5 games. You look at ERA 2.80 during that stretch, the last 5 games, but overall 36-21 at home for the Angels against the Dodgers. And the Dodgers have been swinging that very, very well of late. 55 home runs in June, keeping in the ballpark, win another game at home.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Gooby, the Angels are coming off a road trip in which they went 3-7. The Dodgers, on the other hand, 17-9 in the month of June. They're 4-0 so far in the month of July. See what Felix Pena can do against this Dodgers lineup. They have been swinging the bats well, and especially with the long ball. Kenta Maeda on the mound for the Dodgers. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A. Sit back and relax. Lineups and first pitch when we return.
Left center field, and well hit, and it is well gone. Skied high and deep to left center field. That is a no-doubt big fly for Mike Trout. 1-0 Angels. Test drive one today. By Mercury Insurance, we're on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. And by your SoCal Mazda dealers.
And it's a hot one. You better stay hydrated if you are somewhere outside here in Southern California. Temperature soaring in the triple digits. Matter of fact, Gooby, a new record being set today. 108 degrees at first pitch when it occurs. Previously been 106 twice back in 88 and in 2007.
Yes.
So congratulations, Gooby.
Yes,
another
record.
world record
Yes.
here at the Big A. Let's take a look at the lineup. Brought to you by City National Bank. Dave Roberts and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Boy, what a turnaround for the Dodger Blue. And they really have done a terrific job under Dave Roberts, especially this year. This is game number 87. They're 47-39. It'll be Peterson in left, Muncy's at first, Turner at third. Bellinger in center field, kept the DH. He'll more than likely be an all-star on a week from Tuesday. You've got Grandal behind the plate, Taylor at short, Puig's in right field, Utley, the veteran, batting ninth and playing second base. Felix Pena's on the mound for the Angels. This will be his 6th appearance, 4th start as an Angel. He's 1-0 with a 3.71 ERA.
Yeah, fastball is pretty consistent. 91, 96. He'll have some pretty good movement on that. And also will throw a curveball and a changeup.
Let's go Dodgers chance start right away. Folks still filing in here. First one tonight is in for a strike. Jock Peterson, it's 261 on the season, 13 home runs, 34 runs batted in. Peterson pulls this one over to first, and that is off the glove of Albert Pujols into shallow right instead of one out. Nobody on. The Dodgers get their leadoff man on board.
And the one thing you don't want to do against the Dodgers is give them those extra outs. And Albert was in good position to make this play. Just kind of looked up to see where Felix Pena was as far as covering the base and did not look that baseball into his glove.
About as routine a play as you're going to have as a first baseman, especially to start a game. Albert gets charged with his 4th error of this season. The Dodgers with a man on. Here's Max Muncy. What a season he is having. 27-year-old, native of Keller, Texas, hitting .280, 20 home runs and 38 runs batted in. First one misses outside. Not a big lead for Peterson. This one gets by Briseño. 2 big miscues already for the Angels through 4 pitches of this game.
Missed a strike, by the way, right down the middle of the plate, called a strike.
Certainly not the way you wanted to start off the Freeway Series. Muncy with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Swinging for the downs, comes up empty. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Dodgers team that has collectively hit .244 with men in scoring position. We mentioned the long ball for them, though. 55 home runs in the month of June. They've hit 11 in July. They've played 4 games.
Muncy 53 strikeouts on the season. There's an opportunity to get that swing and miss here and not allow Peterson to advance third base on and out.
Down to the dirt, blocked by Briseño. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's a Dodgers team that was 10 games under 500 on May 16th. Since that point, they've gone 31-13, best record in baseball. That's why they find themselves tied atop the National League West with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Clayton Kershaw will not pitch in this series. I believe he's scheduled to pitch on Monday.
Missed some serious amount of time already this year for the Dodgers.
Muncy almost chases, full count.
The thing about Dave Roberts is he's a guy that's very, very positive, and that's the thing he kept saying. He had a lot of trust and his guys swinging the bat, and they got hot in the month of June, and it's carried into the month of July.
Justin Turner's on deck. Error by Pools, pass ball by Briseño, man at second, nobody out. Top of the first. Once he chases, fouls it back.
Pretty good fastball. That's the thing. Felix Pena's got some pretty good movement on his fastball. I mentioned it could be 91, 96. When he stays on top of that, that's a good running action.
Pena's last start at Baltimore picked up the W. 5 1/3. No runs, 5 hits. This one hit to right field. Cole Calhoun moving over, dives, and he got it. What a play by Cole. A little bit of a double clutch getting the ball back in there, and a heads-up base running move by Jock Peterson as he stays at second base.
Cole Calhoun, he's been swinging the bat much better of late, last 16 games, but another outstanding defensive play. It's our top-tier play, brought to you by Arco on the dive. He's won a Gold Glove. He's been outstanding. 7 outfield assists this season. What a play on the full extension on the dive to catch that baseball and get it in as quickly as possible to not allow Peterson to try to tag up and go. And you're liking that play right there. Solid defensive play.
Breaking ball to Turner in for a strike.
That play was made because of a good route, an aggressive route that Cole Calhoun took to get to that baseball.
Not an easy ball to handle.
No.
That top spin lob off the bat of Muncy.
Especially when you got to dive face forward. You don't have a chance to slide in there to make the play.
That one down and away. It was accounted 1 ball, 1 strike. Turner hitting .266. 5 home runs and 15 runs batted in. This is his 42nd game and missed a considerable amount of time at the start of the season. Left wrist fracture, which he sustained in spring training. Foul back 1-2, and that's the thing that stands out really when you start looking at the numbers overall individually for these players on the Dodgers. They've done it without really Justin Turner. Corey Seager's out for the year. Matt Kemp's had a monster season. Max Muncy, heck of a find. Now in his second season of Dodgers organization.
Jock Peterson really is turning around this season also with 13 home runs. He's at second base right now.
1-2. Just off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chad Whitson's calling the balls and strikes tonight. Mike Winters is the crew chief. He's at first base. Tim Timmons at second. Rob Drake at third. That's the umpiring crew for the weekend series.
That's close enough to the outside corner. I think he can throw a breaker ball now on that plane to get Turner to chase at it.
There's that slider in the dirt. Full count.
It's a little bit too far off the plate. But anytime you hear a crowd oohing and ahhing on a fastball that just missed the pitch before, hitters have a tendency to think they better be aggressive on the next pitch. That was never close enough to get him to chase.
Trout shading Turner out toward right center field. Upton shallow and left. Fourteen pitches thrown by Pena thus far. 8 strikes, 6 balls. Foul back and fastball there. Pretty much on it as well.
Yeah, like most hitters in this lineup for the Dodgers, they don't miss many fastballs. We saw that even in the World Series last year. They were susceptible to a hard breaker ball, especially a little bit out of the strike zone.
Got him. This one running up and in on Turner. 2 down.
Real good pitch there as far as establishing in. My go-tos to be successful for Pena today. It's almost right on cue what he's been able to do. Use that off speed often in this game, especially his curve and changeup. very good batting average against those 136 versus his slider this season, and then run that fastball inside. Get some easy contact and a swing and a miss. And that's exactly what he was able to do against Turner. He runs that fastball inside to get a big swing and miss.
Bellinger takes a strike out in center field. National League Rookie of the Year last year, 267, 39 home runs, 97 runs batted in. Batting average down to 239, but still 17 home runs. Driven home 43. Peterson still at second. Bellinger fouls it off.
Yeah, they're trying to get Bellinger to get a little bit more of a crouch in his stance. He's more of a straight up and down as far as his stance and approach. They're trying to get a more athletic stance at the plate to have more coverage, especially on that inside pitch, whether it's a fastball or a breaking ball. See right there, a little bit more bend in his knees to be able to have a little better coverage, especially on the inside part of the plate on something off speed.
And a breaking ball gets Bellinger, the tag applied, and that mistake early on, stranded in scoring position, helped out by the diving catch by Cole Calhoun in right field.
Boy, we often talk about home runs and stuff, but defensive plays, outstanding athleticism for Cole Calhoun prevents a run with that play.
For the Angels, who come into play with a 44-44 record after having a 3-7 road trip. It'll be Calhoun, Simmons, and Trout in the top third of the order. Upton, Pujols, Ohtani in the middle third. Shohei, who did not play yesterday, is back at DH. And Valbuena, Kinsler, and Briseño giving Martin Maldonado the night off. The 30-year-old right-hander, native of Japan. Kenta Maeda is on the mound. 16th appearance for the Dodgers this season. 15th start. 5-5 and a 3.36 ERA.
Yeah, fastball is 90-94. He'll throw a slider, cut fastball, curveball, and changeup. Maeda will mix it up quite a bit.
Cole hitting 178. Bounces this one into the shift. That's Chase Utley. One pitch, one out to start the Angels half of the bottom of the first.
My go-to is to be successful against Kenta Maeda today for the hitters. They got to swing at pitches that are going to be those fastballs middle part of the plate. You got to get yourself in position to jump on a fastball when it's in the strike zone. And don't chase out of the strike zone. That's what he tries to do quite a bit. And then think middle is success. That means using a big part of the field against him because they go out of all speed pitches. 54% of his pitches are going to be something off speed. What we saw in the last couple of days, really, up in Seattle.
We talked about it in the pregame show a little bit. Mike leaked two days ago, and then Marco Gonzalez, a lefty, yesterday. A lot of off-speed stuff as Simmons takes a strike. Halos were able to get the leak, could not solve Marco Gonzalez. Simmons at 315, 6 home runs, 39 RBIs, 15 doubles, 2 triples. Flips this one out to right.
Yasiel Puig comes in. 2 down. Taking a look at the Dodgers on the defensive side of things. It'll look like this with Peterson in left, Bellinger in center, Puig is in right. Turner, Taylor on the left side, Utley and Muncy on the right, and that's Monty Grandal behind the plate.
We didn't plan that for Yasiel Puig to have to make that play, but we are going to talk about him on the defensive side. 6 outfield assists this season. He had 4 of all last year. At 15, which was a career high back in 2014 for Yasiel Puig in right field.
First one to Trout is a little bit low. Mike hitting .309. .454 on base percentage. 24 home runs, 49 runs batted in. More than likely will be one of the starting outfielders for the American League when the teams are announced on Sunday. All-Star game a week from Tuesday. Washington, D.C. 2 balls, no strikes.
Grandal was setting up the target, a high fastball inside. We've seen that quite a bit late against Trout. Missed his spot.
Mike 6 for 33 out on the road trip with 10 walks. Also got hit twice. 2-0. Breaking ball, 3 balls and no strikes. Justin Upton on deck. 3 infielders on the left side with Trout up.
Well, that's a shocker, taking a 3-0 pitch.
Seldom does that. And by seldom, always does.
Yes, always does.
Two quick outs from Maeda. Ground down a fly ball to right field. There's a 3-1. Trout grounds this one over to third. Turner's got it. Pitch running in on the hands, and the Angels down in order. We're off to the second inning with no score. To scoring position, leaving him there. Kenta Maeda follows up with a 1-2-3 bottom of the first. We welcome in Jose Motos down in the camera well, the Angels side of the field. And I don't know what you're doing. It seems like you're somewhat of a masochist having to sit down there with all that concrete around you. It's probably a little toasty down there. It's like, you know what it is? It's another edition of your hot yoga. That's what this is.
Let's go. Pose.
Pose.
Hey, how about the Matt Kemp in the story, Victor. We're going to continue talking about this. What a turnaround for a guy that perhaps many thought was just a transaction on paper before the season started.
Lifts this one on the right side. Kinsler cutting over. He's going to call off Albert. One pitch and one out to start. And there's no doubt. I mean, the thing about it, Jose, and you look at his numbers last year, nobody was talking about Matt Kemp, but in Atlanta, it's not as if he put up horrific numbers last year. 276, 19 home runs, 64 runs batted in. So he was putting up and being an addition offensively. But what he's done this year as an afterthought, and even, Jose, in spring training, people are talking about he's probably not even going to be part of this roster. He's going to be gone. He's turned it into perhaps a starting outfield bid for the National League All-Stars.
Oh, he is an all-star, you know, and credit among many people in that turnaround, Torrey Hunter. He spent time with Torrey Hunter in the offseason over in Texas, and Torrey said, let's start again. Let's talk about nutrition. Let's talk about spirituality. Let's talk about your life and going out there and being a better man. And he has turned his season and life around, he says.
2 down with Grandal grounding out.
He really has been patient at the plate also. When he's worked ahead of the count, he has crushed the baseball, so he hasn't been chasing pitches this season. And when you think what he has done so far for the Dodgers, without him, they would have really been in bad shape without Justin Turner and the rest of this lineup not swinging the bat well.
I'll ask both of you guys, because at the end of your careers, I'm sure you got to a point where, like, you know what, I've got nothing to lose now. Either one, I've accomplished a lot, or two, I'm probably going to be done after this. So why not just kind of go freestyle and just let it go, not even stress about anything?
I think a lot of times when you want to prove people wrong, and I think that's the biggest thing. When you have that little bit of an edge, and he's the guy that almost won an MVP for the Dodgers back a few years ago. When you're told you're done, you're not as productive as you once were, that's a great motivating factor. And I think that's the big thing for any athlete, is once somebody tells you you can't do something now, that's that edge you need to be able to get back to where you were before.
And Victor, also being hungry enough to know that there's still one more level to reach if you pay attention to what perhaps you have been doing so well. And, you know, going back to the initial comment, many people thought he had no chance of even being on the team with a crowded young outfielder. And before you know it, look where he is, heading to the All-Star game, you could say.
No doubt. Taylor, the shortstop, hitting 264. Bounces this one foul.
You almost had to make a play there, Jose.
I'm good here, man. I'm not.
Don't move.
No glove, no meat. Forget about that. We got a nice netting here. Well, nice and protected.
2 quick outs for Felix Pena. That fastball upstairs.
This is another great story too when you think about it with Taylor. When he was with Seattle, he always felt he had a lot of holes in his swing, and he turned it around last season for the Dodgers. Was every bit as good as anybody on their roster.
Yep.
Got a little slow start this year, but he's turned it around himself, just like everyone else in this lineup.
Two balls and 2 strikes.
You know, along those lines to Victor Mark is think about the history here with what the Dodgers have been able to do for guys like Max Muncy, Chris Taylor, Justin Turner. How about Brandon Morrow? Some guys that were ridden up by pretty much everybody around baseball in new life and contributors at this level.
Taylor strikes out, a 1-2-3 inning for Pena. It's his 3rd strikeout of the game. We'll head to the bottom of the 2nd with no score.
by sharing a photo or video with hashtag #HatsOffForHeroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
No score here at the bottom of the second inning. Victor Rojas, Mark Gobas, and Jose Mota is joining us throughout the game. Down from the Angels camera well, third base side. Kent Maeda had a 1-2-3 first. He'll face Upton, Pujols, and Ohtani. Angels half of the second. Justin late on the fastball. First pitch today, 108 degrees. Previous high of 106. First done on September 4th, '88. It's Boston. I was here for that game. On September 3rd, 2007 against Oakland.
That's going back to my Vegas days.
Yeah.
How about this, Victor? Hey, we're going to go on a road trip and get out of Vegas. So where's the road trip? Tucson, Phoenix.
Yeah, nice.
Go enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool down there.
Yeah.
I just got shown a weather thing. Death Valley was 112, Los Angeles 113.
I saw it in my car on the way down there. I got 122 at one point. I was really comfortable on the drive down.
The weather's nice, balmy, and there's absolutely no air to speak about down here. So look at the flags.
And baseball will fly here today.
Hey, come on, guys. It's a dry heat. All right. It could be worse.
Really?
Maybe in your oven. It's dry there as well. 1-2 count on Upton. 17 home runs, 45 runs batted in.
Look at numbers against Maeda this season versus his fastballs compared to his secondary pitches. 274 hitters against his fastball. Just a couple home runs allowed. But 208 versus all his secondary pitches. 3 home runs. So 3 home runs versus fastball, 3 versus his secondary pitches. Better chance, especially when you can bring that fastball in the strike zone and not try to chase and then use that middle of the field against him.
One-two. Breaking ball misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
One of those guys, Mark and Victor, that hitters talk to you about ball getting on you quick, and it could be 89, it could be 91, but just the way he sets up with his back leg, watch how he already has that foot set like Matt Shoemaker started doing here last year. But it's just to get him in position to deliver quickly, get that front shoulder straightened out and fire away.
Full count.
All that leads to guys saying, well, the ball gets on you quicker. It might read 91, but your bat, it's got to be ready for 93, 94.
Yeah, 75 innings pitched, 89 strikeouts. A lot of swing and misses against Maeda this season.
Late on the fastball, jamming. First career start here at Angel Stadium for Maeda.
These are kind of games too. As a pitcher, you're loose right away. You're feeling good. Your goal is always to have a fairly quick inning. You don't want to throw a lot of pitches, but being said, you feel great. You're loose. Everything, as far as all your pitches are working quickly.
Nice little mix here. Rosenbach. Sweat, little dirt. And yes, that ball's going to feel better coming out of your hand.
But you can't use pine tar. You can have a rosin bag out there. Certainly can't use pine tar. Makes sense, right? Good.
Oh, yes.
At least legally, anyway. Called strike 3. 1 down. Takes a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Maeda picks up his first strikeout.
Upton got a good look at that one.
You talk about painting an outside corner at 94. Good balance, runs it right to that spot, freezes him. He could paint that outside corner. I think you force him to try to beat you inside because he doesn't throw a lot of pitches inside. So you could drive that ball, just get that ball up in the air. The right center field is a right-handed batter against him today. It can go a long way.
Albert fouls the first one back. Pujols at 249, 12 home runs, 46 runs batted in. 1 for 4 game yesterday. Talking about the Angels' situational hitting. Went hitless again with men in scoring position against the Seattle Mariners, even though they had opportunities aplenty early on. They've hit 244 in those situations. Ground ball to third. Turner's got it. And because Albert jogging down the line, he's still retired on the wide throw by Turner. 2 outs.
Sometimes as an infielder, when you feel you have more time, that's when you start aiming your throw over the first base.
You're right on it. It could be very dangerous to look too much at that runner jogging down that line.
We're moving Turner around quite a bit. He was at third base. Now he's worked his way over to his second base position behind the base in a shift on for Shohei Ohtani.
There's Shohei. 2 outs, nobody on. Fouls the first one off.
Take a look at our StatCast, powered by AWS as far as the shift being put on against Shohei Ohtani. Taylor moving back towards shortstop position. You see where most of the baseballs put in play on the infield by Shohei Ohtani have been hit to that right side or up the middle. Because 15% of it hit that left side of the infield. Hence, you only have one infielder on that part of the field.
Oh, 2 count.
Highly anticipated matchup here with Maeda and Ohtani. 11 a.m. start Saturday morning back in Japan.
Some success for Ohtani against Maeda in his career over in Japan, including a double against him.
Gets him on the off-speed pitch, and the Angels down in order. 6 up, 6 down for Kenta Maeda. We're heading to the third, but no score. Dodgers wrapping up this 3-game set, at least the first part of the Freeway Series. First 10,000 kids in attendance will receive a Youth Trout jersey courtesy of Angels Radio AM 830 while supplies last. For more information, go to angels.com. No score here in the third. 8, 9, and 1 coming up for the Dodgers. Yasiel Puig, Chase Utley, and Jock Peterson. Puig takes a breaking ball, misses in. 262 on the season with 9 home runs, driven home 31. Gets jammed, breaks his bat, hits one softly to Kinsler. One away.
And so far, he's really used that fastball very effectively. Talked about the need for his off-speed pitches, but also his fastball. Talk about late life pitching inside. He's done that a couple times very good and effectively today. Starts middle of the plate, runs in and jams him right on the handle of the bat. He was looking fastball, got a fastball, but that movement, that pitch from Pena, jammed him.
Here's Chase Utley. Chase, 39 years of age. Won't be 40 until December. Starting second baseman tonight, 218. 7 doubles, a triple, a home run, and 14 runs batted in. This is his 54th game. A tough go for the Dodgers at that one position. Utley and Logan Forsythe. Forsythe hitting .205 on the season.
It's one of those guys, Victor, that Dave Roberts, Dodgers manager, says don't measure numbers, measure intangibles. What he brings to the clubhouse in leadership, in understanding how to bring the younger guys into their game, nobody better.
I agree with you, especially when you got the rest of the lineup doing stuff. It certainly helps out.
Yeah,
those intangibles certainly come into play, but when the other guys around you aren't performing, then those numbers tend to stand out. Nobody really cares. From a fan standpoint, nobody cares about the intangibles.
Yeah, but he's a guy that's a .288 career hit against the Angels, but he has a good edge to him. He's quiet, but he plays with a serious edge every game, every at-bat, every play in the field.
Silver Fox.
And he's still a huge fan favorite back in Philadelphia when they won that championship back in 2008.
So well liked. They brought him back on a 2-year deal. Major league contract.
Jack Peterson fouls that one at the plate. Tried to hold up. He reached on the error by Pujols in the first and was stranded in scoring position.
That fastball by him again. Good life.
Get that sense, Mark, that he is understanding more and more about the routines of getting ready as a starter at the big league level.
Exactly. And Jose, what it comes down to is he knows he's got to conserve some energy on some pitches, hit his spots with his fastball. Don't go away from the fastball, even though his curveball and changeup were very effective. And the numbers prove that. But when you could still throw 94 to 96 range with movement, you're going to be more apt to go after hitters with that pitch and get some contact with his fastball.
He's looked from the get-go when he got here and made a spot start. A guy that has been under control. He was starting down at AAA. And I think he has slowed things down because of becoming a starter. This one up the line, tough play for Pena. Flips it low to Albert. He digs it out. They retire Peterson. Pena with a 1-2-3 third inning. We'll hit the bottom of the frame. Still scoreless.
by Pena. This is not an easy play as a right-handed throwing pitcher. As you field that baseball, runner going down the line, you see Peterson trying to stay in the field of play to make that throw even more difficult. Instead of forcing you to throw it low, he stays in an athletic position, and Albert able to scoop that low throw and finish off the inning. Peterson runs well also. It's a very difficult play, made it look easy.
Bottom third of the order for the Angels with Valbuena, Kensler, and Briseño. Quintanilla has faced 6. He's retired all 6. A couple of strikeouts. 3 ground outs and a fly ball to right. Luis was used as a pinch hitter last night. Getting to start at third base tonight. 215 on the season with 9 home runs and 30 runs batted in.
Such a different player, Victor, when he is able to just stay back and wait on that baseball, as we saw in the recent road trip. He produced the big part of the field.
2-0. 3 balls and no strikes.
You're patient at bat right now. Consider when you look at this roster for the Angels against Maeda in his career, just 3 hits combined in 28 at bats. It's a 107 batting average, so you got to put yourself in those good fastball counts.
3-0 pitch lifts this one out to right center field. That's not the pitch you want to be hacking at if you got a 3-0 swing. 1 out.
So if you look at the swing, he was not even able to complete that swing. To me, that was caught in between thinking, do I take or not? Even though you do have a green light, it's not automatic that you have to go out there and swing.
As a pitcher, you're loving that swing and a pitch out of the strike zone. That's ball 4. Or borderline.
You know, coming up through the minor leagues, you heard it so often. Maybe not so much you because you were on the mound, but you get in those one situations, those 3-0, especially if you get green lighted. 1 pitch in 1 zone. If it's not there, you don't have to swing. Just take it.
It's a mindset, Victor. You got to convince yourself.
Yeah.
And depending on what type of player you are. I mean, I was punch and Judy contact guy. I got 1 green light, and it was Jim Riggleman.
Well, you got 1 green light?
1 green light, 3-0 in 12 years. I popped it up. I'm like, I'm never again. You know what, Jim, don't even tell me about a green light anymore. I'm done with that.
Well, the amazing thing is Trout has never swung on a 3-0. At least we haven't seen that yet.
Kensler floats this one foul. Behind at the count at 0-2.
Well, Jim Riggleman becoming a nice story for Cincinnati, and what a turnaround they've had. And very influential in my career. The only manager ever that gave me a hit and run with a bases loaded. Go figure, Vic.
Doesn't happen often.
Bases loaded, hit and run. I trust you.
Yeah, I was going to say, you better trust you're going to make contact.
Did the guy at third actually break?
Yes. Everybody's going.
I don't know if I'm going.
It's almost like a suicide swing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a suicide job for the base runner at third base coming home. You got to be thinking the other way, hopefully, anyway. A 1-2 count on Kensler. Briseño on deck.
Remember, Don Zimmer used to do that quite a bit with the Chicago Cubs. So 3-2 count, having the runners going with 1 out, bases loaded. You got to have a lot of trust in your batter making contact or at least a good eye.
And it has to be the right matchup, too. If big swing and miss guy on the mound, you're not going to take that risk. That was some good heat.
I could see where the mindset being that it certainly would disrupt the defensive side of things, even on a swing and miss.
It could drive you crazy. Yeah.
Where do I go? Ian pulls this one over to Turner. Third ground ball, he's fielded. 2 outs.
My Hyundai key for this game today for the Angels to be successful against Kenta Maeda. A little sugar it. When it's over, that means when he throws a pitch over the plate, you better be ready to do some damage. Talked about those numbers for Maeda against a lot of batters in this lineup. Not a lot of success, so when he gets that pitch out over the plate, you got to be ready. That's 4 ground ball outs for Maeda so far.
Jose Briseño takes ball 1. 9 for 30. 300 batting average. Couple of home runs. 4 runs batted in. Opens up the count. So far, so good for both starting pitchers. Pena has allowed one base runner. That was the error by Pujols. Knight has yet to allow a base runner. Good numbers against the Angels in 2 starts. 1-1 with a 3.27 ERA. Down to chase. 9 up, 9 down for Kenta Maeda. We're off to the 4th inning. Still scoreless.
The tools of the trade brought to you by Ram Truck with Max Muncy coming to the plate. This is the adjustment he has made since 2016, more straight up and down with the Oakland A's, more of a crouch now, and then his swing path gets right short through the baseball and creates a great launch angle to drive the ball out. 20 home runs this season for Max Muncy. Different hitter in his time with Oakland as far as getting through the baseball, shorter through the baseball. All starting with his stance. Get loaded up and get through the ball quicker.
Muncy, a fly ball to right field. That was that sinking liner that Calhoun made the dive and catch on in the first. Originally 5th round pick by the Oakland A's in 2012 out of Baylor. And all last season at AAA.
Chasing that breaking ball out of strike zone so far this season. 296 versus fastballs for Muncy. 10 home runs. It's 216 versus a curve and changeup. So far he's seen both of those with 6 home runs.
One ball, 2 strikes. Pena with 3 strikeouts, no walks. Yet to allow a hit. Very similar start to the 4 games we saw last year between these 2 teams. That's a call, strike 3. He knew it. That's a front door 2-seamer.
Again, Jose, that fastball movement he has on that pitch.
Gotta trust it.
A lot more confidence.
Isn't this a matter, Mark, of trusting where it's going to end up?
Exactly. And you got to believe in that pitch. It's a good one. And over his career, especially out of the bullpen, he threw his breaking ball a lot and his changeup. That good fastball command, trust in it. Even when they make contact, he's got a chance of being soft contact. But location of his fastball, very important against this Dodger lineup, though.
Turner takes a strike. Pena's obviously had some big league time before this year. 11 games with the Cubs in 2016, 25 games last year. All out of the bullpen. This one's pulled foul. No balls, 2 strikes.
Facing a guy like Justin Turner, who continues to be a wonderful story of many turnaround, and had on my spotlight before the game today. And the factor he has been local product, but 10-17 OPS in playoffs. A guy that was a non-rusher invitee, and what a difference when he is and when he isn't active for the Dodgers.
Takes a called strike, 3-2 outs.
That's a strike. It's in the upper part of the strike zone. Turner doesn't like it, but that's got a lot of the upper part.
Hey, Mike Trout has been getting a lot of those, and it is a strike. Get some of that box.
Again, it's that late movement, almost very similar we threw to Muncy to freeze him. Starts and looks like a ball off the plate and runs back. As a hitter, you give up on it thinking it's a ball.
We saw it happen twice with Trout yesterday.
You didn't pick Turner because he was a Titan, did you? Maybe?
Nah.
Nah?
I don't find those guys very often.
Nah.
I'm so sorry.
Bellinger drives one out toward left field, hitting well. Upton racing back to the wall, and that is off the fence. Upton somehow got turned around on that ball. Turner, as Trout gets that ball back in, now gets away, trying to take third. No, Bellinger will stop there at second base. That's a catchable ball in left field for whatever reason. Upton got completely fooled on it. It'll go as a double for Bellinger instead of it being a third down.
Well, you can see the power that Bellinger creates to hit the ball that far, and the lift he creates on that one. Turns around the wrong way at that point, and that ball's in the lower part of the padding.
Credit Mike Trout for being where he was.
So Kemp will bat with a man in scoring position. First hit of the ball game. And Kemp lines one into center field, a base hit. Bellinger be waved around. He's going to come in to score 1-0.
Well, Mark, this is where Matt Kemp has made his stat felt. 419 in scoring position coming into today.
And I knew that first pitch, you got to be careful. Even though it's a breaking ball, he's off towards the end of the bat. He has very good coverage of the entire plate. And he's not trying to pull that baseball. He's the middle of the field, picks up an RBI. 56th RBI of the season.
That's the biggest point. So was he anticipated? I'm not going to see a fastball here. Why should I think pull? Big part of the field, breaking ball up in the zone, and there it is.
Big swing and a miss by Grandal, off speed pitch. The ground will back to the mound of the second. 1-0 Dodgers here in the fourth. Kemp picking up his 56th run batted in. Snap throw to first base, and that's a dangerous play with a left-handed batter. Typically, as a catcher, you want that pitch down and in, so it takes you kind of behind the batter.
You're right.
It's almost as if Briseño threw right through Grandal.
You're right, Victor. He had to actually get out and then throw the sinker. Watch this.
And the batter doesn't have to do a single thing in the batter's box. You got to work around him. Fortunately, that ball stayed in the infield.
I'll show you how to stay low when you throw him behind him.
Downstairs. 2-ball, 1-strike count. So a double by Bellinger. We'll put that in quotation marks. That's a ball misplayed in left. And then the base hit by Matt Kemp. So Jose poured down 14-19 batting average with Ben in score position. And Kemp did it again. For Bellinger's 17th double. 2-1. Off the plate, 3-1.
When you look at numbers as far as averages against the Angels, Grandal's been the most consistent in this lineup for the Dodgers career-wise. Coming in a 294 hitter in one of those tough fastball counts now. And he's got good power.
It's popped up right side. Pujols backpedaling out. And he'll squeeze it for the third out, but a 2-out little mini rally for the Dodgers gives them a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the fourth.
Tempting El Diablo Thick Burger has returned to Carl's Jr. Pick it up before it's gone. And by the 2018 Subaru Forester, a whole lot to love.
Halos down 1-0 here at the bottom of the fourth inning. Dodgers got their first hit of the game at the top of the frame. See if the Angels could do the exact same here in the fourth against Kenta Maeda, who has faced 9. He's retired all 9 with 3 strikeouts. Calhoun, Simmons, and Trout. Cole bounced out to Chase Utley out in shallow right in the first inning. Cole came in batting 178, 5 home runs and 20 runs batted in. That one off the plate but called a strike. 1-1.
Pretty good change up off the plate but called the strike with that late movement on it.
Cole 6 for 15 so far in the month of July. A couple of home runs, 5 runs batted in.
Keep in mind, you see all the shakeup there by Maeda. This is a time where methodically he will stay on his system and plan and start changing things around as the lineup turns around once again. Even though he's been, of course, quite successful.
1-1.
The batting average against him, though, indicate that the hitters have had a better time adjusting against him this season. 254 first time through, 265. Second time, third time through, though, 159 against Maeda.
One, two. Cole strikes out swinging. Fourth strikeout for Maeda. 1 down.
Talk about his high percentage of swing and misses this season on display so far. Another good changeup. Threw a good changeup to Cole earlier in the at bat. It was called a strike.
So much different the approach was at bat against Cole than his first AB. This is all softer. See how Cole will adjust to it.
Look at that whiff percentage this season, 31%. That's the 9th highest amongst all MLB pitchers.
big swing by Simmons, fouls it back. He had a fly ball to right field in the first inning. Jose, we were talking about earlier about the similar style pitchers that the Angels faced over the last 2 starts in Seattle, and Leake and Gonzalez, and how perhaps you could take some of that and apply it to a guy like Maeda tonight.
You have to at least know that which pitch is he going to go to when we're anticipating fastball. And from there too, Victor, is movement, patterns, and in and out, and also which call is he getting. There's going to be one part of the zone that is marking over well, one part of the plate that a particular day where you're now the hardest throwing guy, you're going to be feeling more comfortable with, because that's a call you've been getting consistently from the home plate umpire.
Jose, with all the information out there now for hitters and pitchers' tendencies, sometimes you see hitters kind of guessing the wrong pitch when you look at percentages of pitches that, say, Maeda will throw on a 1-1 count. You're sitting, you look at tendencies, and then he throws the opposite pitch to you.
You see that happening a lot, especially with younger players when all this information is provided for them. But veteran players, the best thing they do is their scouting happens from the dugout.
Trout on deck. 1 out. We're in the 4th. 1-0 Dodgers. That's pulled down the left field line, and that is a fair ball right on the line. And ricochets right back to Peterson. Simba trying to get the second, and he is out. No, safe.
Did look like from our angle he got his hand in there. He went to that back corner of the base.
Timmons certainly looked like he was going to ring him up. Pause for a second. I'm sure the Dodgers will have a look at it. Very good throw by Peterson.
He's got 3 outfield assists. He's played some solid center field in his career for the Dodgers. And he had a perfect carom right towards him. See, the throw beats him. That hand's in there.
Man, I don't know, Goose. That's
very
bang,
close,
bang right there. They're going to challenge it. See if they got a better angle here. See, the question is, can you find a definitive angle where the glove is touching the hand and you see separation between the hand and the bat?
Because you see the thumb area getting onto the base, but it's the fingertips on the bag first. It's worth, obviously it's worth for Dave Roberts to challenge it.
Yeah, and I like the play for Andrelton Simmons too. You're trying to create something. And it's never an easy play, Jose, for a second base, because you're blind to the play. You're just swiping around, and hopefully you're hitting the guy's hand.
All you can do is bring your glove quickly to one spot of the bag. How about the crowd reaction here? Because we have the blue and the red, and they're cheering for both sides when they see the replay up on the board.
And the tag is on the forearm there. Is it a matter of the fingers in first?
I don't see how that one could be changed.
I mean, based on the rules, I agree with you. It appears as if maybe they got him. And I honestly thought Tim Timmons thought about bringing him up originally, then paused for a second, then called him safe.
I think either way, if it had been called out, the Angels could have challenged it. It would be tough to overturn. It's going to be a tough one. And it's all about where Andrelton Simmons got to that base, that corner, which made it a little bit longer tag for Utley.
Yeah, for Simba Smarter, you are taught to go to the backside, and any type of situation like that was going to take longer to get the glove there.
Yeah, well, it's pretty cool review on these new jumbotrons here. You're getting to see it. The fans are getting to see it.
Headsets are coming off. See what the call is. Mike Winters is the crew chief. And that sounds and smells like a call stands, Gooby.
Our favorite thing.
Yeah, our favorite. Not really.
I think it was worth a challenge.
Yeah.
But that was a real good throw by Peterson, but it was all about the carom.
And the ball right down the line. Simba hustling all the way once he realizes it is a fair ball. And that ball ricocheted right back to Peterson. Nice play. I mean, you can't play that ball any better by both guys, Peterson and left, and Utley at second base.
And you saw the reaction by Simmons. He right away saw that throw coming in, so he changed his direction going towards the base to be able to get that back corner of the bag, be in there safely.
Trout up with the man in scoring position late on that one. An 0-1 count, double for Simba, his 16th of the year. Angels' first base runner of the game.
A lot of fastballs lately for Mike Trout. Last 20 games against the fastball, 306 average, but only 1 extra base hit.
0-1. Lays off.
Overall in the season, 318 versus a fastball with 12 home runs. For Trout.
We've seen lately, Gooby is just a change of pattern. So many catchers, regardless of how hard the guy throws, they're putting that glove upstairs. Because he got jammed that first AB for that same reason.
Exactly. Trying to elevate. He laid off that pitch a lot early. He's been going after that more so of late.
1-1. Trout fouls it back.
There it was again. Now let's take a look at our Kia drive to success. Speaking of success for Mike Trout in interleague play, one of the highest OPSs, especially when you over 500 plate appearances. 1018. Barry Bonds at the top. 1153 OPS. Frank Thomas, Matt Carpenter, the Hall of Famer Jim Thome, Hall of Famer Frank Thomas.
Mentioned Barry Bonds. Look at Trouty choking up here. Not as much as Barry Bonds, actually.
1-2. And he'll strike him out. An off-speed pitch. 2 outs. 5th strikeout of the night for Maeda.
Another off-speed pitch, a really good one once again. Mention those numbers versus Maeda's secondary pitches. Just a little bit over 200. He's thrown a couple really good changeups this evening.
You know, Mark, we hear a lot about, and Victor, changing eye levels with the fastballs often, but that is a great example of changing a hitter's perspective and eye level with fastball up, off speed down.
So 2 outs, man still in scoring position. Here's Upton, struck out looking, leading off the second.
And Jose, what we're seeing from Trout of late, do you feel that he's pressing a little bit, trying to make sure he drives that run in? Because you showed it the other day on the pregame show. All those runners on base that have not been driven in, whether it's by Justin Upton or Albert Pujols or anybody else behind him, you feel that he's expanding his zone a bit now.
The field's getting smaller. It's getting pull side only. If you think about it, that's pretty much the Angels' pattern. Victor, you know that very well throughout the season. Take the example of Trout swings, that at bat, compared to what Matt Kemp did with a 1-pitch scoring position and what he got the result. There's a difference.
Halos have had their difficulties in these situations. 212 in the month of July with men in scoring position. 1-out double by Andrelton Simmons. Trout struck out for out number 2. So it's up to Upton, the man who has really struggled in these situations all season long after having a terrific season with men in scoring position last year.
Victor, when he's out there trusting those hands, the ball's going to find the other part of the field, which is not happening for him lately.
Pick off intent. Simmons is back.
We've shown it time and time again with a pregame show about what a beauty it is on a side view from Justin Upton when it's all about the hands and the legs.
Dodgers getting a run in the top of this 4th inning. Halos trying to answer. With flare, shallow right field. Going out is Muncy into foul territory. He drops the ball. It's a foul ball. And right on top of the line is the first base umpire Mike Winters, and immediately made the call.
Yeah, he's going right down the line. He gives himself a perfect view. That ball would have been fair or not. Stays right on the line. Is he able to track that? When you see him running down that chalk line, that way he has a good view to see if it was going to be fair or foul. It's a tough play for first baseman reaching out over his shoulder to catch that one going a long way. Maybe a break here now.
A couple of heartaches for Maeda. He thought Simmons was out at second base. Thought Muncy had corralled the 3rd out. One ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs.
He's never been known for his glove. He does have the loud bats this season.
Utley playing Upton up the middle, trying to keep Simmons close to the base. And that pitch cut on. It's way out of the strike zone. Grandal throws down the first, and the Angels will leave that one-out double in scoring position. 1-0 Dodgers. We head to the fifth. Best suite in the house, entered to win these seats at any Jerome's locations. Not too shabby.
Solid view.
Living large.
It's a lot cooler up there, I think.
You think?
In every way, Victor. Much cooler up there.
Amen, brother. Taylor, Puig, and Utley for the Dodgers here in the fifth. Chris Taylor struck out down the second. 0 for 1, 5 strikeouts for Felix Pena. Both starting pitchers through 4 innings prior to that pitch at 51 pitches, both at 36 strikes.
This for me is a huge inning for Felix Pena and the Angels. .16 batters face 13 first pitch strikes for Felix.
Down goes Taylor. Strikeout number 6.
Now, Victor, have you seen improvement in his breaking ball, or at least the look, tilt? Is it 12-6? Is it a hybrid? Is it a slider?
I tell you what, it's got a lot of movement to it. There's a little slide piece right there. You can just see the perfect little dot. And I was saying this a couple of innings ago, and the inning ended very quickly. As a reliever, especially when you have the arm of Felix Pena, it has been as Puig lifts this one down the line. Long run for Cole. It's headed foul and out of play. Things tend to speed up a little bit, right? Because the adrenaline's going, you're pumping, you want to pick up strikeouts. You're pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher. And I think the transformation for Pena from reliever to that of starter, and it started at AAA. He's had to slow things down. He's going to have to throw pitches. He's going to have to work counts. He's going to have to go second, third time through the order. And I think he's made a nice little switch mentally and physically.
Yeah, I think it's what you're seeing is
over to third, and
play.
Loves it. 2 down.
Is his ability now to change speeds with his breaking ball. Right. So sometimes it looks like a curveball. Right. Sometimes it's harder. It looks like a slider. The break is going to be slightly different, but it's still a very effective pitch. When you look at numbers against that pitch this season as a starter for the Angels, it's been really, really good.
I think the Cubano's a little upset right now.
Me? Oh, you're talking about, I thought you were talking about yes.
No, we're talking pitching. You're fine, Victor. You're happy.
Exactly.
I'm talking about the kid from Cienfuegos right there.
Yeah.
Boy.
He hit that ball hard. Nice play by Valbuena.
You got the first base, and you thought the World Series had ended.
Well, that's why you have guys with gloves out there in the infield to make plays.
Play some defense for you. But to your point, Kubi, about being able to work different velocities on the pitches, you don't necessarily have to do that as a reliever.
No.
Because you're coming in and you're just emptying the tank for one inning.
Exactly.
For the most part.
And it's all about swing and misses and percentages of swing and misses. As a starter, you're still thinking soft contact.
Utley cues this one past Valbuena.
Speaking of soft contact,
he's thinking two
well.
here, and he'll stop as Upton comes up with it. 2-out single. Is that the most frustrating thing as a pitcher there? Those type of hits?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And he's always had that short swing, and he just made enough contact to get that one right down third base line.
Look at Pena going, I just made a good pitch. Wait a minute. No, come on.
You got to move forward quickly. Mentioned this is a big inning for him. Third time through, batting average really goes up against Felix Pena this season.
Jock Peterson 0 for 2.
He was sitting middle and unload right here.
Takes a strike.
He has the ability to throw his breaker ball for a strike again. And he took a little bit off that one. He's thrown some sliders and curveballs 84, 85. That one was 82.
Totally offset his timing there. As he's sitting dead red, top of the plate, proud.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Major improvement for Peterson when you think about it, back from the World Series, where he wasn't even a thought really the first round or so. In the World Series, he had some big at-bats, big home runs for the Dodgers. He's carried into this season with 13 home runs.
Jock hit 3 home runs in the World Series, 5 RBIs, hit 333. And you're right, for a guy who's not even supposed to be playing that much that late.
Swing and a miss. Nope, he fouled it. Briseño saying he caught the ball. He's not going to win that argument with Chad Whitson.
I don't know why a hitter doesn't always do that, pretend they fouled it off there, if it's close enough. You can't challenge it.
Do you see a redirection there?
No, I would do that every time.
Sold it nicely. Young AAA umpire bought it.
So you can hear the sound when the baseball hits the dirt.
Right. All you have to do is the hitter says, look, ball in the dirt.
Exactly.
He's got to make location count here big time.
One, 2. Just below the strike zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That was a real good pitch by Pena. Real good take by Peterson on that one.
Didn't that used to be called a great pitcher's pitch?
Yeah, it still is. You just don't get the call anymore.
No kidding.
Especially that lower part of the strike zone.
Quick check in of Utley. Squibbed a single past Valbuena with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. 1-0 Dodgers. Double and a single by Bellinger and Kemp respectively in the 4th. 2 outs.
Utley has 2 stolen bases. If you don't pay attention to him, he will go. Still runs pretty well, but you just make him stop as far as his lead.
Off speed. That's a swing and a miss. Briseño has to complete the strike. The out throw down in time. And another nice inning for Felix Pena. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Still Dodgers up They take on the Mariners this Thursday at 7:07. Fans in attendance will receive a one-of-a-kind Ohtani double bobblehead courtesy of Lawson Ticket while supplies last. More information, go to angels.com. Show due up second. Pujols to lead things off. Six strikeouts for Maeda. No walks, one hit. That was a Simmons double. Albert grounded down in the second inning. He's 0 for 1.
Next extra base hit for Pujols, and he'll pass Alex Rodriguez on that all-time list. .314 career hitter against the Dodgers with 18 home runs.
It caught the corner. It was a counted ball and a strike.
Maeda doesn't give up a lot of home runs. It's 6 so far this season. Shift on against Pujols.
Foul back. 1-2.
Taylor playing in the outfield. That is a long throw if it was a ground ball towards him. The shortstop position. Although he has played a number of games in center field, he's almost playing in outfield position once again.
All started by Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve. Now we see Segura do it in Seattle and all around the American League and National League against Albert.
One, two. Way out in front of the plate. Nothing Grandon can do.
You know, Victor, the other item you got to deal with as an infielder is you see more infielders notice in batting practice taking ground balls out in the grass.
Yeah.
Because of the snake effect, it could be obviously an element when you're playing that deep.
And you see sometimes the guys that a little bit hesitant on it because they're not sure how that ball is going to.
Yeah, you have to really stay down because it's not going to be that hop you're going to get on dirt as compared to the grass.
And I don't blame him, Victor. If there's any hesitation, you just tell your infield coach, I'll play right on the cut. I don't want to deal with grass and dirt and speed and all that kind of stuff.
You see where Utley is, and now that'd be a long throw for Utley. He doesn't quite have the arm strength he used to have. Long throw for him also.
He's a former fight and field. Come on, Gooby. He'll figure it out. Huh? He'll three hop at a first base if he needs to.
2-2. One down.
Shohei Ohtani coming to the plate. Let's take a look at our Carl's Camp replay. Shohei Ohtani has been very good at home. 306 batting average of all 6 of his home runs here at the Big A. Gets some really good pitching also. And he's also hit fastballs and breaking balls out here, including a home run against Corey Kluber. Severino on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball inside. Hit that one out. So big-time power numbers here at the Big A for Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei struck out down the second. 7 strikeouts for Maeda. Felix Pena with 7 strikeouts as well. No walks allowed by either starter.
Look at numbers versus Shohei Ohtani as far as hitting the fastball. 5 of his home runs have been off of fastballs this season.
Okay, by the way, just getting a report from some of our friends in Japan saying there's been some cut-ins on regular programming on some TV stations to watch this matchup at bats. Shohei and Kenta.
Thanks for the pressure, Jose.
Well, are you working on your Japanese or
no?
Just stay right there, my friend. You're good.
One. Off speed again.
Is that good changeup? Overall, Ohtani's hit secondary pitches from Maeda better than fastballs this season. Has stayed back pretty well on all speed pitches. 326.
Little flare over to the shortstop area. Taylor puts it away. 2 outs. So the base is clear. Luis Valbuena coming up. Luis hit a fly ball to center field, leading off the third inning.
Nice move by Luis Valbuena yesterday in our pregame show live, doing a bat flip. Thanks to Patrick O'Neill bringing that out of him.
Why would Maeda go away from the off-speed pitch? The Angels have yet to make one adjustment on it.
Mentioned those numbers for the basically on the entire roster versus Maeda in their careers. Just batting average of 107 coming in this game so far. Just one hit. It's a hustle double by Anderson Simmons.
Halos down in order. Kenta Maeda carving up the Angels. Dodgers have a 1-0 lead as we head to the sixth.
Take a look at the Coors Light refreshing finish. We talked about what Felix Pena has to do today against the Dodgers. Go to that off-speed pitch often. He's that good break to that both slider curveball combination and his changeup. Getting some swing and miss, but above all, setting up with that running fastball inside. He got a swing and miss against Turner, and then jammed Yasiel Puig with a fastball inside. So far, so good for Pena.
Both starters have been spectacular. Next, Muncy, the first baseman, takes inside for ball one. Dodgers sending up 2, 3, and 4. Muncy, Turner, and Bellinger.
Both pitchers, 64 pitches, both 46 strikes coming in this inning.
And the Angels have Noe Ramirez getting ready to bullpen. You got a starting pitcher that is completely under control in 66 pitches.
I don't even want him looking out that way at this point.
You don't want him looking, then why do you have someone up?
That's what I mean.
Not you particularly, Jose. It's not like you made the call.
I'll tell Pena right now, hey, no mire para allá.
Seriously. Muncy 0 for 2 with the fly ball to right and a strikeout looking. Takes downstairs.
Pena 2 starts ago. Well, going back to the Baltimore one, he goes, I am ready to go 100 pitches if needed. And the off day the Angels had in Seattle, he and Hansel Robles found themselves running inside the stairway in the hotel, up and down to get their workouts in. How about that for dedication?
Got to do it. Given an opportunity in the big leagues, got to make the most of it. That one's outside, a full count.
My thought process always was, any starting pitcher, it doesn't matter how many pitches though, you want to be in there to get that last out of the game. That's your mindset every single time you take the mound. You want to shake the catcher's hand that you completed the game.
Down goes Muncy, 1 out.
That's a block on that fastball now.
He's had that fastball working quite a bit. That late movement on his fastball.
Just keeps adding to his career high in strikeouts, now with 8. He's gotten Turner twice, one swinging. That was in the first, looking in the fourth.
I knew he was swinging first pitch. He challenged him. That's good movement on his fastball, especially when you've already struck out twice. You're more apt to not want to fall behind in the count, so you're going to be aggressive on the first pitch. Overthrew that one just a bit. But Jose, even when you look at his build, he's got a good pitcher's build right there. Good shoulders. He's got great balance over the pitching rubber. Drives with his that back leg.
Looks like an outfielder out there too, with that build. Former position player, Felix Peña.
28 years of age. The shortstop capital of the Dominican Republic. Breaking ball for a strike.
So Victor, why do you think he played?
I'd imagine he came up as a shortstop,
yes, he
Jose.
did. Yes, he did.
San Pedro de Macorís, the Dominican Republic.
And one of the best in the Angel staff, Alfredo Griffin. World champion, by the way, with the Dodgers back in '88. Talked to Joe Madden. If the Angels acquired Peña from the Cubs, and Joe Madden was telling me in the offseason, really like this kid. If he can get some command, because he's smart, he's hungry, you know, he's had experiences where he's been knocked down 3 years in rookie ball, and he knows what it's going to take to stay in the big leagues. Throw strikes.
Full count.
I think Joe was telling me too, Victor, is he goes, he'd be a perfect long guy out of the bullpen. Go out there and just say, you know what, go out there and blow it for 3 innings, let it fly.
Bellinger on deck. 3-2. Overthrew that fastball, and it's a walk. First one for either side. We'll put a man on for Bellinger. Mike Scioscia is going to pull Felix Peña here after 76 pitches, 3 hits allowed, and a 1-0 deficit.
You see that look by Felix Peña. I love when you see that from a pitcher. He wanted to be part of this game still. You're talking about one of the hottest teams in baseball, and he just got through that team exceptionally well into the 6th inning.
California Toyota dealers. By Heffernan Insurance. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com.
And by Tough Turtle Turf, a full landscape design company.
Dodgers up 1-0. They scored in the fourth inning with 2 outs, a double by Bellinger and then a single by Kemp. Felix Pena's stellar outing for him. Career high 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 hits allowed. And truth be told, it should be a scoreless game right now. Had it not been for that ball misplayed in left field. Noe Ramirez comes on in relief.
Has struggled in his last 8 games for Noe. Trying to get that ground ball at an infield to see if he can get a double play turn.
It's been the long ball that has plagued him. That breaking ball misses outside. Noah's now given up 8 home runs on the season. That's been an issue for the Angels bullpen in general. Bellinger 1 for 2. Ahead of the count at 2 balls and no strikes.
Really liked the reaction being here so close. Felix Pena was so upset in watching Mike Scioscia come to the mound, not being disrespectful, but also in the walk. It really bothered him. And to me, this hitter right here should have been from Felix Pena.
This inning should have been for Pena. And perhaps even the 7th. 3-0. And only from the standpoint, Jose, if you're starting to develop a starting pitcher, how else are you going to learn to pitch deep in the games? There's just no other way other than pitching deep into games.
And to see how hitters react second, third time around. Yeah. What will you do to make yourself better and tweak things around to have success?
4-pitch walk by Ramirez. 2 on, 1 out.
Especially when you look at Felix Pena the way he threw his fastball today. He had a lot of movement, so you're more apt to get a ground ball. And/or his breaking ball has been down even below the knees and get another ground ball.
But the point being that there was 0 indication that he had lost anything.
And he did not look tired at all.
I know it's a warm night, but if velocity's still there, movement's still there, you're still getting swings and misses. You got 8 strikeouts as a career high, and you're in the 6th inning.
This right now is a huge batter for Noe Ramirez and the Angels.
So that's 5 out of the strike zone for Noe Ramirez. He's coming on. Kemp 1 for 2. He's popped out of the second, had an RBI single in the 4th.
Look like he went on that one.
Charles Nagy will come out and pay a visit. RBI for Kemp, his 56th. Stay tuned during the 7th inning stretch for the Arco game break with Patrick O'Neill and Tim Salmon. Three hits for the Dodgers, 1 for the Angels. Noe will certainly take that pitch out of the strike zone. Called a strike 2-1.
Dave Roberts didn't like that call. And with a fastball below the strike zone. See Matt Kemp shaking his head.
Pulled through left field. A base hit, hanging slider. Turner's going to be waved around. The throw from Upton is cut off. We've got Bellinger hung up between second and third. Now they're calling him out. He ran out of the baseline. And for that, they've got Kemp in a rundown. That's a live runner. Bellinger's already out. They had a live runner in Matt Kemp. Easily could have gotten the double play. And Kinsler airmailed it over to first base. The run counts. It's 2-0. Bellinger called out immediately for running out of the baseline beyond the reach. Kemp broke from second to first, and he's a live runner. Not sure what Scioscia's going to argue here. He's going out to the second base umpire, and that's Tim Timmons. Here's the base hit. The throw gets cut off by Balbuena as Bellinger's caught between second and third. And right here, that's where he's called out. Kinsler runs towards second. Kemp breaks, and because he does this, there's no play whatsoever on Kemp. That's an easy second or third out of the inning.
Yep. Clearly, Ramirez had no idea Bellinger had been called out, and nobody at first base is causing there for the Angels and not getting Kemp hung up.
Well, Persinu got over there to first base also.
You still got to make a better throw than that, than Kinsler just flipping it over to first base.
If you watch that, there's a ton of moving targets to throw to at that point.
Then stop, plant, and throw to the guy that's not moving.
Find one.
Yep. 2 outs, 2-0. Here's just Monty Grandal takes a strike.
And another RBI for Matt Kemp. Both RBIs in this game. Continues to have an outstanding season. '31 RBI in his last 31 games for Matt Kemp.
It's at the point there, Victor Marco, he is setting guys up, saying at the very end, I know exactly what you want to throw me. It's going to be a breaking ball. Very patient at bat, never got upset with that call, shook his head, Mark, as he described, but beyond that, it was like, okay, let's get back to work.
Even
I know he's got to spin the baseball here.
And he's been fooled both times, but he still kept his bat back for a good swing path to be able to make contact with the baseball both times.
Grandal is 0 for 2. Bouncer back to the mound and pop up to Pujols. 2-1. 3-1.
Tell you what, guys, if there's some things that really get to Mike Scioscia, is that type of lack of execution defensively, and he is not happy. Just to my left.
Takes the walk, second one issued by Noah. Those runners at first and second base and 2 outs here. Scioscia goes back out to the bullpen. Pitching change with a couple of men on. Taylor due up, 2-0 Dodgers. Here are in the 6th. will face Harry Kane in England at 6 a.m. Pacific. Then host country Russia battles Luka Modric and Croatia at 11 a.m. You can catch it all on Fox or stream all the action live on the Fox Sports app. Hansel Robles on in relief. Second reliever used by Mike Scioscia here in the sixth inning. It's a 2-0 Dodger lead. Those are his combined numbers between the Mets and the Angels. This is his 7th appearance since joining the Halos. 0-1 with a 5.06 ERA. 5 1/3 innings, 7 strikeouts and 2 walks. He'll face Chris Taylor with Matt Kemp at second base. Yasmani Grandal at first. And that's all Felix Pena could do right now is just look on.
He was excellent.
Yep. 2 runs charged to him. Base runners currently occupying the bases belong to Noe Ramirez. Taylor takes a strike.
A couple of days ago, Hansel Robles pitched his way out of trouble. 98 to 99. But saw that slider go at 90 miles an hour over in Seattle. Saved also by an outstanding play up the middle.
Yeah. It's an outstanding range by Fletcher. His changeup's pretty solid also. That's the spot right there. He needs to live 98 at the knees.
Called strike 3. Taylor goes down looking for third strikeout for Taylor tonight, but the Dodgers add a run, 2-0. They lead it as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Still here. It's a 4:15 p.m. start. Enjoy a post-game Saturday night fireworks show presented by Wells Fargo. Visit angels.com/promotions for more details.
Nate has been excellent so far. Just 1 hit, no walks. 64 pitches in 5 innings.
Kinsler, Briseño, and Calhoun. Kenta Maeda has kept the Angels completely off balance this evening. One hit allowed. That was a Simmons double in the first, or pardon me, in the fourth inning with one out.
The story in this game has been Maeda and Matt Kemp.
Yeah.
Felix Pena also was excellent tonight.
No doubt. Solid again. We're talking Mark about his back foot, and one thing we saw like last season with the Angels and Jesse Chavez, and this season we saw with Matt Shoemaker, saw it in spring training, is minimizing all the movement with that right foot. What can I do to simplify things for you?
Well, what it does, it gives you better balance. A lot of times when you have that quick step back, you have a tendency to start swaying forward, and all of a sudden your arm is going to drag. You have that shorter step, better balance over the pitch and rubber to work downhill much more efficiently.
Pulled to the left side under the glove of Justin Turner. The Angels get a leadoff single by Ian Kinsler. 1 for 2. They grounded out to Turner in the third.
Go back to my Hyundai key for this game for the Angels to be successful against Maeda when it's over. That was over the plate right there. And Kinsler lines it past Turner for a base hit. You have to make him pitch over the plate, do not chase out of the strike zone. Otherwise, you're in trouble.
Now, there's a time where you have to go out there and grind out at bats, man. He is going to one thing and one thing only, is to try to get you to reach, have you guessing, and 2-0 lead. Just sometimes it feels like a 7-0 lead at this point. Grind it out. You're within reach, one swing away.
Briseño struck out in the third. One of 8 strikeouts for Maeda.
He's trying to pull the baseball against Maeda. It plays right into the veteran's hand. First pitch was a breaking ball. He almost got him to chase out of the strike zone. That slider on the outside part of the plate. Bellinger playing extremely deep out in center. He's trying to make contact, use the big part of the field. You can get that baseball to fall in front of him.
This one back toward the middle, off the glove, redirected. That might help things out. Briseño will reach.
Yeah, that could
nice
have been
play,
that
by the way,
been,
by Muncy coming off the bag at first.
And that would have probably been a double play. You can see the reaction to frustration by Maeda.
So 2 on to start the bottom of the 6th for the Angels.
Towards the end of the bat and off his glove. To that view right there, it's going to be a double play ball, but Maeda fields his position normally very, very well. It's more difficult when you reach back as a right-handed pitcher on that one. But off the glove, a break for the Angels here.
A ball hit off the end of the bat helps a lot to offset the timing, even of the guy trying to field the baseball.
And Maeda won 5 gold gloves over in Japan. Very good fielding pitcher. See if that mistake right there could help get right back in the game here with Cole at the plate.
Calhoun 0 for 2, a ground ball in the first inning, a strikeout in the fourth. Two balls and no strikes.
We were talking about 3-0, one pitch, one location. This applies here.
Roberts, Rick Honeycutt having a discussion. He's potentially going to the bullpen at some point, even though Maeda's been great so far.
2-1.
Cole a little frustrated on the call of that pitch. Baseball off the corner.
Simmons on deck. 2-1, little dribbler foul, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And when in doubt, Knight has really just gone to the off-speed stuff.
That's what he does. Masterful. Makes everything look like a strike.
Kessler leadoff single. Briseño with the infield base hit off the glove of Maeda. 75 pitches for the Dodger right-hander. 2-2.
Good take there.
Trying to sneak that fastball on the inside part of the plate.
Because if you hit that ball, it's going to be on the ground somewhere.
See Cole, little reminder, Simba waits on deck about being on time getting back because he does have his hands way more relaxed. But Victor Watch, it's easy for him to get caught between going back and not being ready to hit.
Daniel Hudson now up and loosening. 2-0 Dodgers. We're at the bottom of the 6th.
I would think he would try that changeup going down and away here.
Three-two. Cole takes a called strike 3 on a fastball that was off the plate. 1 down.
When you go back in the whole sequence, it just about a 2-0 count called a strike that was off the plate. And then on this fastball, once again, it has perception. It looks like it's in the strike zone, but he clearly at least half the baseball or a baseball off the corner again.
They look like balls, but if he called it once, I think you got to go out there and be in protective mode. Have to.
Here's Andrelton Simmons. 1 out, 2 on. Simba pulled the double down the left field line in the 4th inning. 16th double of the season. Breaking ball lifted out toward left field. Long run for Jock Peterson. On the track. Will make the catch. Tagging and heading to third is Kinsler. Briseño's trying to get the second, and he is in there safely. So Simmons just got underneath that one. It's a long, loud out. But it's a second out of the inning. It'll be up to Trout. You got first base open, Gooby.
Yeah, you can see that carry here this evening. Warm night. Got right back at that 390 sound. Peterson, a center fielder by Trey. Looks like they're going to walk him. You saw the 4 fingers up there for Roberts. And again, Trout potentially a walk.
That's the one thing, Gooby. And Jose, maybe that's a conversation you have with Jose Briseño. Because it's tough to fault hustle on the field, right? But what you've essentially done, and I know you still have a base open, but it's 1st and 3rd with Trout coming up, and it forces Roberts to look at it a little bit differently to load him up with Trout.
I think
with first base open, you do it automatically.
At 2nd and 3rd, a base hit ties the game up. 1st and 3rd, a base hit only makes it a 2-1 game.
His loud voice is going to hear is Alfredo Griffin say, no, stay.
Yeah.
First base coach has to be able to, take part of that too.
Visit to the mound. Trout, by the way, has just tied his career high as far as intentional walks is concerned. 15th of the season.
Not at the All-Star break yet either.
We've seen this become a little bit more commonplace over the last month as the struggles for Justin Upton have continued with men in scoring position. He'll come up with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Justin so far 0-2 with 2 strikeouts. Struck out looking at the 2nd, struck out swinging in the 4th.
And how often do you see a manager have it in him to put the go-ahead run on base?
Well, that's how much Mike Trout can change your thinking. One of the few players in baseball that will do that to a manager.
And that kind of goes back to my point about Briseño perhaps trying to lasso him at first base and force the issue to walk up to load the bases at that point.
Yes.
Maeda working from the full windup, and that is downstairs for ball one. That's a borderline pitch, could have gone either way.
As pointed out in the pregame show yesterday, Justin Upton leads the American League in plate appearances with men on base, let alone scoring position, men on base.
Takes inside, 2 balls, no strikes. He's hit 200 with the bases loaded this year, 2 for 10. He's got Kinsler standing at third, Briseño at second, and Trout at first. Dodgers with a 2-0 lead. Solo runs in the 4th and 6th. Kinsler starts to come. That's a balk.
That is a balk.
That's a balk.
Yes.
That is a balk. Kinsler comes in to score. Heading to third is Briseño. And going to second base is Trout. It's a judgment call. That's not something that you can challenge. And they're talking it over. That's the first base umpire that's coming down. Mike Winters is the crew chief. I believe he's the one that called it from first base.
He's telling him he's going forward to throw the ball.
Kinsler at this point sprinting. See how he disengaged with that right foot.
So a break there for the Angels.
It's one way to get a run in. It works. It's 2-1 Dodgers now.
In that spot right there, it's not a bad time, although it's unusual, especially with your number 4 hitter at the plate to do that, Brian Kinsler, but it will change your thought process as a pitcher, especially that's why I never pitch from the full windup with the bases loaded. I always pitch that at the stretch. And here he is right now.
That's a no pitch, by the way, because of the balk. It's 2-0 on Upton. That's a strike.
What a coincidence as we're talking about the anchored back foot. That caused the issue. Disengaging that.
That's why, Jose, I've always believed, especially with the bases loaded, pitch from the stretch. You keep everyone closer to the bases also.
Good job, Kinsler.
Here's the 1-1. Back inside, catches the corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They may have called it a 1-1 pitch. It's 2-1. It's 2-2 now. Right, it's 1-2. Right back to that fastball.
Well, we showed it in the opening. The Angels won a game on a strikeout last year against the Dodgers. Got away from Grandal, then a high throw to Utley at first base, resulted in a walk-off strikeout win.
Socha has something to say here, guys.
I think he wants to make sure of the count. 2-2.
Yes.
It's 2-2.
Yep.
The scoreboard showing 1-2. There was a 2-0 count on Upton when the balk was called, so it's a no pitch. Then 2 fastballs on the inside part of the plate and a foul ball, so that's where we stand right now.
Also, Mike Winters at first base. The crew chief is with a talk with Tim Timmons over at second base.
Scoreboard still showing 1-2, but it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now the scoreboard has it right.
Two Upton. Go foul.
Oh, Victor, that swing, that foul ball tells you a lot about intentions with Justin Upton, why the issues with men on base and men in scoring position. But if you look at the right side of the infield, this is pretty much saying, play a little pepper.
Quite a few of his home runs in this ballpark this season have been the right center field.
Another 2-2 offer, that's off the plate. Full count. Back to the fastball.
I think it's going to be his last batter. Either way.
Pujols on deck. 85 pitches for Maeda. Here's the payoff pitch. Up the lays off. They're loaded up for Pujols. That's the pitch that got him. It is actually a little bit further away from the last at-bat. A breaking ball down the way. Upton takes this one. Here comes Dave Roberts. He's going right to the bullpen. That'll be it for Kenta Maeda.
That was real close, that slider.
So pitching change here for the Dodgers. We are in the 6th inning. Angels have them loaded with 1 run in. Dodgers still up 2-1. Run, 9 strikeouts and 2 walks, and he's responsible for all 3 on base. Briseño at third, Trout at second, Upton at first. Scott Alexander, the left-hander, is brought in to face Albert Pujols. This will be Alexander's 38th ball game, 1-0 with a 3.76 ERA. Not a strikeout pitcher, Gooby, but a guy that can get a ground ball out.
Yeah, his fastball pretty firm one from the left side, 91-95. Will throw a slider and a changeup. He throws a lot of fastballs lower part of the strike zone, very first pitch, and Albert Pujols, the pitch he has hit very well this season, has been the low fastball.
And the biggest number is Pujols' numbers against lefties this season, 152.
And there's that fastball lower part of the strike zone, very first pitch.
One ball, 1 strike. Albert 0 for 2, a ground ball to third and a strikeout.
This field, Jose, these are the times where Albert will use that whole field and can get that ground ball through that right side of the infield, especially on a low fastball if it's on the outer part of the plate.
For that to happen, he needs to be a little more spread out. He's a little narrow right now, which is causing him to just be rotational when he swings.
1-1. Albert cuts through it, 1-2. Alexander coming over to the Dodgers, part of a 3-team deal this offseason with the White Sox and the Royals. The 28-year-old native of Santa Rosa, California, went to Sonoma State. Bases loaded situation. Angels down 1. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Albert strikes out swinging. Alexander does indeed pick up the strikeout with the bases loaded. 6 complete. Dodgers on top, 2-1. Bottom of the 6th inning. The Angels sending 7 men to the plate. They scored 1 run. That was courtesy of the balk by Kenta Maeda. So that's what he gets charged with in his outing this evening. Hansel Robles, who struck out Taylor to finish off the top of the 6th inning. Back out for the 7th. It'll be 8-9-1 coming up for the Dodgers, and Puig, Utley, and Peterson.
And they were still talking about that balk called on Maeda. And he clearly balked because he disengaged with the pitching rubber with his back foot. Lifted it up off the rubber.
And to make it clear, to be it's you go ahead.
And you can see right here when he goes to deliver the baseball, and you see that foot lifted off the pitching rubber. Once you disengage with the rubber, it is a balk, and it's going to be called every time. Right there, see it lifted up. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, essentially all he has to do is just continue with the motion.
Yeah,
speed up the motion.
Yeah,
quick pitch. Puig tonight 0-2 with a couple of ground outs. Puig lifts one off the end of the bat toward left. Upton is there. One down.
And the one thing about Yasiel Puig, everything he does brings a lot of energy to a ballpark, even on the road. Towards the end of the bat, still so strong. You anticipate something happening with him. Ends up being a fly ball to Justin Upton.
Big numbers last year, home run wise, really turned it on. 28 home runs.
Chase Utley 1 for 2. A base hit in the 5th inning, was stranded. Back toward the middle. That's Anton Simmons, another one off the end of the bat. 2 down. Top of the order, Jock Peterson coming up.
It's another ball, Victor, with a lot of effect. When you see a guy like Simmons field a ball on the right side of his body, you can tell immediately it's because of the effect the ball coming off the bat.
The spin, you mean?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it takes away from your top. Always try to center or left side because that is where your glove is located.
Tough sometimes, right? Because you settle in, right? Ready to plant your feet, both feet, as a fielder, and all of a sudden, the last second, it kind of redirects on you.
Makes it tough to recover.
Yeah.
Especially, you teach a young player or a young kid, start with your glove down and just swing it to your right. You see what happens. The glove can only go in one direction. It goes up, right? Like a pendulum. So how do you counteract that is by keeping your weight and shifting your weight more to your right leg as the ball is slicing away from it.
Reaching forward, fouls it off. 1-2. Peterson's 0 for 3 tonight.
Hansel Robles has really got some life on that fastball mark, and he's got some tail in action on that too.
Yeah, when he stays back and has good balance, he's always had that very strong throwing arm. It's just a matter of control and hitting his spots and not overthrowing his fastball. Because the more you overthrow your fastball, the less movement you had. Quick pitch to him.
Yeah, time was called though. Peterson is in the batter's box. I don't think that Chad Whitson is ready to go. And I don't know. I know Peterson had his head down, but he didn't call time walking in there.
He did not.
I like that quick pitch.
Yes.
I think you can either do it or you can't as a pitcher.
Yeah.
Sometimes
it's
you can feel comfortable. Yeah, it's hard to do.
Because you got to get your arm in that good throwing position.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you quick pitch, you drop your elbow and you just elevate with really no movement on your pitch.
So it's a lot more fun when you can throw 97, 98 and do it.
Yeah.
Let it fly.
1-2 count. Muncie's on deck.
It's a pretty tight slider at 90.
Saw some dandies actually through Bernard Span and through D. Gordon over in Seattle.
Speaking of the Mariners, they're trailing the Rockies 6-1. That game of the 7th.
Cleveland beat Oakland. Oakland finally loses a game.
There's a quick pitch again. That's a called strike 3. A 1-2-3 7th inning for Hansel Robles. Stretch time. Halos down 2-1. Time now for the Arco game break with Patrick O'Neill and Tim Salmon.
Okay, guys, thanks very much. Tim, I tell you, we've seen a little bit of everything in this game on a record-setting heat index type of night. We're going to look at the Arco highlights, but first off, Felix Pena, 5 1/3, gets pulled early in this game. Your thoughts on that?
Well, 76 pitches. I mean, that seems like it's early, but in his instance, in his case, I mean, he's only been starting for maybe 4 or 5 starts here, so they're trying to lengthen him out, but he did a fantastic job tonight. He's got a great fastball, but it's a slider that was really dominating, and you saw it from the very beginning. I think it all starts with that fastball. They had to respect the fastball. It was getting by him. They were fouling it off, and it just made that slider that much more effective.
And Kenta Maeda really kept the Angels' bats off balance with that off speed.
Yeah, he has a splitty and a change, and of course it was the same deal. I mean, they had to respect the fastball, and of course in doing that, they're out in front of that changeup and that slider.
And what happened here? I mean, clearly Kinsler influenced the ball.
Yeah, he did. He influenced that balk, and of course Maeda working out of the windup. He adjusted his motion right there in the course of doing that. His right foot came off the rubber. That was enough for it to be called the balk. Out of the windup, you cannot adjust your rhythm or your motion there.
Yeah, well, important for the Angels to cash in on those opportunities. This has been the Arco game break. Of course, we'll hear more from Victor, Mark, and Jose. But first, here's a word from Arco.
Righty. Dodgers with a new second baseman. Logan Forsythe replaces Chase Upland. 1 ball, no strikes. Shohei 0 for 2. He struck out on the second, popped out to short. Both of those plate appearances against Kenta Maeda.
Yeah, it's 125 versus left-handed pitching this season for Ohtani. When you look at his numbers over in Japan, much higher batting average versus left-handed pitching as compared to right-handed pitching, although power numbers differ.
Three infielders on the right side as they play the shift. 1-2. Shohei bounces this one toward first. It goes foul. Ford chases. 1 down.
It's tough enough to hit the big leagues and to have to face lefties like this, especially lefties that are not so comparable to what you face in Japan. Guys are not throwing this hard, especially on the inner side, to spread the plate and make you look this way.
It's the 11th strikeout for Dodger pitching tonight against the Angels. David Fletcher's got a pinch hit for Luis Valbuena here, so a little scouting report action. Valbuena finishes the game 0 for 2 with a fly ball to center and a strikeout. Fletcher at 286. This is his 19th big league game. 14 for 49, 2 doubles, a triple, 5 runs batted, and he's 0 for 3 as a pinch hitter.
Well, what we've seen both in spring training over the last couple of seasons and here in the big leagues this season, we'll put the ball in play and use the whole field.
I'd like to know how many times in the minor leagues just this season he saw this type of defensive alignment against him. Runs him way off that line at first base.
Evens up the count at a ball and a strike.
You also have that option of a push bunt down that first base line, especially with a lefty on the mound. It's going to fall towards third base side of the pitching mound. A lot of room if you wanted to push bunt down that way.
Victor, does that play still exist?
No.
I didn't think
Push
so.
bunts? No.
Talked to Rod Carew a lot about that. He says he doesn't understand why hitters don't do that more often.
Especially for guys that can run, can handle the bat, and are looking for a knock. I'm not talking about giving up an out, but absolutely force a catcher playing first base to field it. And not only that, the combination of a left-handed pitcher who's fallen off to the third base side.
I recall Rod Carew once telling me, I was in college, he goes, if you can bunt 600, you should be able to be around the 300 level. Think about that. 6 for 10 bunting. That's what Rod told me. I was still making 4 outs trying to bunt.
This one floated down the right field line. Puig racing over. Not going to quite get there.
And also, if you've shown that you can bunt or will bunt, we saw that happen in Seattle where Dee Gordon is a guy that tried to bunt a lot. So you bring those corner infielders in. He got that ball by first base for a triple yesterday.
Was it Brett Butler that bunted regardless? They were playing to bunt all the time. He didn't care.
Yes.
Right?
In his face.
Yeah.
And all he said was, if I put the bunt in a good spot, I don't care how good the third baseman might be or the first baseman, I'm going to get a base hit. Takes a lot of convincing in your mind to say, yes, it's going to work.
Fletcher.
So he should have sold that one too. Saying foul ball.
He's looking back, but home plate umpire's not giving him the benefit of the doubt. Back-to-back strikeouts, actually 3 now for Alexander. I'm not buying what you're selling. Another thing too about the push bunt toward first, the push bunt towards second base for the left-handed pitcher. Force a second baseman in, or that in-betweener between the mound and first base. Doesn't have to be down the first base line.
It's not your game, a power game, so you're trying to get on base.
You're always told, just get it by the pitcher. Make it a race. Sometimes a race between 3 guys from the defender.
Kessler was all over the base paths in the 6th inning, led off the inning with a single. Got to third and forced the balk of Maeda for the Angels' only run. Sellout here tonight, as expected, 44,323. Bouncer off the foot of Ian Kinsley. 1 ball and strike. Two and one. Off the plate. Halos have Justin Anderson getting ready.
Kenza, right now you're sitting on the fastball lower part of the strike zone looking in.
Three-two. Got a piece of it. And he continues. It'll be Briseño who's on deck. Alexander's faced 3 batters. He has struck out 3.
And a lot of fastballs he has thrown, and he does throw a ton.
Back toward the middle, and that's Forsythe coming up with a nice play. Just put into the game to replace Utley. And scoops that hot smash for the 3rd out. 7 complete. Halos down 2-1.
As we get ready for the post-game show, Angels Live post-game, presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers, Patrick O'Neill and Tim Salmon. Mr. Angel will be joining us on the set and breaking down what a great effort by Felix Pena today, and just the release point, consistency in mixing that fastball. Ton of life, a lot of carry. Unfortunately, taken out of that ball game, but boy, he showed once again he could be one guy who can go out there and continue to develop, and the Angels did a fine job. And keying him as a guy that can go out there and give you some innings. Guys, it's been a pleasure.
Jose, nice job.
Hasta luego, Cubano.
Hasta nos vemos. Justin Anderson takes over on the mound for Hansel Robles, who ended up going an inning and a third. 2 strikeouts, the rest zeros. Anderson will face 2, 3, and 4. Muncy, Turner, and Bellinger. Anderson pitching his 31st game. Fletcher, of course, who pinch hit for Val Buena, stays in the game. Breaking ball for a strike. Muncy's 0 for 3. Fly ball to right and a couple of strikeouts. Not surprising, another tight game. These two teams, it just seems like nail biters. Bounce it over to first. Albert's got it. Justin covering. 1 away.
Yeah, they've been some tight games, well pitched games. It's the Dodgers and Angels.
Solo runs for the Dodgers in the 4th and 6th innings to take a 2-0 lead. Then the balk by Maeda with the bases loaded. Hansler scored. That's it. 4 hits for the Dodgers, 3 for the Angels. Both teams have committed an error. Dodgers have stranded 5. The Angels have stranded 4. Halos will have 9, 1, and 2 coming up at the bottom of the 8th. There's Turner. 0-1.
Good slider there from Anderson. He can still rush that fastball up 97, 99. Solid breaking ball.
One ball, one strike.
You can almost tell by that break, got around that baseball. Didn't stay on top of it.
Under control slider, 1-2. Dodgers have Daniel Hudson getting ready. He'll pitch the 8th inning.
Pretty good take by Turner there on that slider, just a little bit off the corner.
Little number back toward the mound. Anderson's got it. 2 down.
So far in this inning, 3-1 and then 1-3 on 2 ground ball outs.
But here's Bellinger. He's been on board twice, doubled in the 4th, walked in the 6th inning. One 1-0. Well, 2 out, 2-0.
That's a hitter now that could sit on a fastball now with great power to all fields.
Foul back. Two balls, one strike.
Couple fastballs in this at bat against Bellinger from Anderson. One off the outside corner, one off the inside corner. Still not quite trusting his fastball, even though it is a very good, firm fastball.
Three-one pitch. Good fastball, 98. Some queso upstairs.
Yes. Good hitter with great power on a fastball. Sitting on it, and it got by him at 98.
Here's a payoff. Down with a breaking ball. Bellinger strikes out, and that'll do it for the Dodgers. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Halos down 2-1. Pacific on FS1, then the Dodgers take on the Angels at 4 Pacific on Fox, or stream it live on the Fox Sports app.
That Braves and Brewers are both in first place this time of the year.
Daniel Hudson pitching in his 28th game, 3-2 with a 3.51 ERA. Halos have 9-1-2 coming up. Briseño, Calhoun, and then Simmons. Scott Alexander went an inning in the third. Retired all 4 batters that he faced. 3 of them via the strikeout. The last one on a ground ball. A nice play by Forsythe up the middle.
Hudson with a firm fastball, 94-97, slider, and very good changeup.
Briseño fouls it back. 1 for 2. Infield base hit in the 6th inning.
Watching on that swing, Bellinger was reading that pitch, being away, playing center field now. We saw him play some excellent first base, but everyone says he's a very good outfielder.
Seven upstairs. 1-2.
Very difficult to catch up to a 97-mile-an-hour fastball when it's elevated.
Was with the Rays in spring. Let go at the end of March. Signed as a free agent by the Dodgers. April the 2nd. There's a called strike. 3 Angels have 1 out here the bottom of the 8th. Pretty good pickup, especially at the start of the season. 31-year-old right-hander. Brings up Cole. Ball hits one back toward the middle, but moving over is Turner, the third baseman on the shift. 2 outs.
We showed that earlier where Turner would move from third base to play on that right side of the infield behind the bag, and he was in perfect position to catch this. Lines right back up the middle. It's one of those baseballs too you want to get to before it hits the ground.
There's Andrelton Simmons, a 1 for 3 game, doubled in the 4th. Double that Simba hit in the 4th inning, 16th of the year, and that came with 1 out and eventually stranded there. Right, struck out Trout and Upton. Breaking ball low. Hudson, a White Sox 5th round pick back in 2008 out of Old Dominion. He's pitched in the big leagues with the White Sox, Diamondbacks, Pittsburgh in 71 games last year. Now the Dodgers this year.
A pretty good pitcher out of Old Dominion, Justin Verlander.
Yeah, not too shabby.
Yeah.
Parker will get the 9th. Wayne Gomes also out of Old Dominion. 3-0. 3-1. Trout on deck. 2-1 Dodgers. It's the bottom of the 8th inning. Hudson ready. Payoff on the way. And draws the walk.
That was real close also.
No doubt.
97.
That's a tough pitch to take. Trout will step to the plate with a man on.
We're talking about painting the fastball. Even though it wasn't located where he wanted up and in, it ended up being right on that outside part of the plate. Could have easily been called. Strike looked like Anderson Simmons thought the same thing.
That could go either way. You're kind of at the mercy of the umpires, the hitter. Trout tonight 0 for 2. Ground down strikeout and an intentional walk. 15th of the season, tying a career high.
It's almost the exact same spot again. This spot, they don't want that fastball in. Hit the outside corner with it though. People try to elevate a fastball.
Here's the 0-1. Oh, 2.
Right in his zone, that lower part of the strike zone is where Trout generally crushes it. Target being set upstairs and misses it down. And he gets it by Trout at 96, lower part of the strike zone, back-to-back 96.
Trout just 2 for his last 16. Quick throw to first. Simmons is back. Slow start to the month of July after hitting .352 in the month of June.
He's been really good with 2 strikes too. He'll punch the ball to that right side of the infield. It's a fastball away.
Hudson's 0-2.
Well, he set that target. He hit the target.
Yep. Not a big lead for Simmons over at first base. Well, the last thing we want to worry about is the guy at first.
You're hoping that's the case.
Yeah.
Nothing can distract Hudson at all. Take that focus away from Trout at the plate.
One, 2. Fastball in tight.
He's throwing some really good fastballs. Dave Roberts wants to know where a couple of those are in this at bat. He's painted all 4.
Yeah. We got 2 managers in this game that give very good manager face.
Yes. That's a
Associate
pretty good
Dave Roberts.
fastball there.
They're both really good at it. Two. This one's popped to shallow center field. Force out the second baseman. Calling for it. Halos are down here in the 8th. We're headed to the 9th inning. 2-1 Dodgers. Jack's Spicy Chicken Clip Combo with toasted sourdough. New from Jack in the Box. Top of the ninth here at the Big A, the opener of the Freeway Series between the Angels and the Dodgers. Dodgers up by the score of 2-1, and Blake Parker takes over on the mound for Justin Anderson, who had himself a 1-2-3 eighth inning. Blake coming on for the 41st time this year. 1-1, a 3.05 ERA, 10 saves, 47 strikeouts, 13 walks, and 41 and a third. It'll be Matt Kemp, yes, Monty Grandal and Chris Taylor coming up for the Dodgers. Trying to keep it a one-run deficit. Halos in the bottom of the ninth have Upton, Pujols, and Ohtani due up.
The ninth game for Parker in his career versus the Dodgers. 3.38 ERA.
Kemp tonight 2 for 3, 2 singles, 2 runs batted in. Some faint chance of MVP here but Dodgers faithful. He went around on that pitch. 0-1. Four hits for the Dodgers, 3 for the Angels. Reaching for it. Simmons has to plant. Retires Kemp for the first down here in the ninth.
That's a long throw across the diamond for Simmons. But he got light on that over the top throw. And the backhand was able to plant, and then the long throw across the diamond to get Kemp after 2 hits in a row. 2 RBI singles for Matt Kemp.
Grandal 0 for 2. Walked his last plate appearance.
Early in the season, Jansen had a tough time as far as velocity on his fastball. He's been picking up lately, though.
Oh, 2. Down goes Grandal. Tag applied, 2 outs.
A solid splitters in that sequence for Parker.
Taylor 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Taylor came into the game batting .264. 10 home runs and 37 runs batted in. The Angels have kept him in check for the most part. The 3 strikeouts. Ground ball to short. We're headed to the bottom of the ninth. The Angels are down a run. Kenley Jansen coming up for the Dodgers. It'll be Upton, Pujols, Ohtani for the Angels. By authority of the Los Angeles Angels, it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Kenley Jansen on to close it out for the Dodgers. Justin Upton will lead things off. '39th game for Jansen. 23 saves, 42 strikeouts, 9 walks in 40+ innings.
Upton 4 for 15 against Jansen. A couple home runs. Fastball is 90-96, getting that velocity back, and slider will cut his fastball.
First one in for a strike.
And strikeouts are down, walks up this season.
Up to 0 for 2.
Little glass on that one, that at 95. Look at those numbers over this season. Still a very solid ERA, but strikeouts per 9 still good, but not anywhere near where it was last season. 14.4 strikeouts per 9 innings pitched, and walk total up.
Off the plate, 2 balls, 1 strike. Back toward the middle under Jansen's glove. Forsythe is there, 1 out.
Albert also pretty good numbers against Jansen with a home run amongst the 3 hits.
Albert 0 for 3 tonight with a ground out, 2 strikeouts. It's 3 hits for the Angels today. 3 walks picked up. Struck out 13 times against the Dodgers. Opener of this 6-game homestand. Yeah, 1. Albert bounces the foul 0-2. Angels, for the most part, will be in Southern California through July. Dodgers for 3. Seattle comes in for 3. Angels go to Dodger Stadium for 3 next weekend. After the All-Star break, it's the Astros, White Sox for 4, and then Seattle for 3, and then we're into August. Oh, 2 to Albert. Straightens him up. 1-2. Gets underneath this one, pulls it foul.
One thing about Jansen we've seen in his career with the Dodgers, he doesn't leave many pitches out over the plate. It's either in on the hands or cuts away off that outside corner on a consistent basis.
Shohei Ohtani on deck. One out here in the ninth. Check swing. And he went around. 2 outs. It looked like he went from our vantage point. The Angels down to the last out.
Yeah, he definitely went after it, crossed the plate there. Third strikeout of the game for Bulls. Last time he struck out 3 times in a game was in June of last season against the Dodgers.
Ohtani 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a pop-up.
That's a pretty good pitch right there, the drive. He's homered against Kluber. He's homered against Severino here at the Big A.
0-1 pitch. 0-2. Programming reminder, tomorrow's game's on Fox. Sunday's game on ESPN. We'll be back on the air on Fox Sports West Tuesday night with Seattle in town. Quick pitch, and that's fouled off. Another 0-2 from Kenley Jansen. Upstairs. Shohei turned 24 yesterday when we were in Seattle. This is his 3rd game back since coming off the disabled list. One, 2. 2-2. Hesitation there from Kenley.
Yeah, I almost think he's going to try to quick pitch now after that one. He'll be ready. Swing. Frustrating night for the Angels. On the offensive side, pitching has been outstanding. Dodgers just a little better on the mound tonight.
Two to show. Full count. Fletcher's on deck. Jansen ready to go. The payoff pitch. And he walked him. Tying run on base, and the speedy Shohei Ohtani as David Fletcher comes up. You got to force the issue with Jansen on the mound, don't you?
Definitely.
And I mean that from the standpoint of having Ohtani breaking towards second base.
1 stolen base in the season for Shohei.
Fletcher 0 for 1. And there's a pinch hitter for Luis Valbuena remaining in the game as they check in on Shohei. Dodgers with 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and stranded 5. The Angels 1 run on 3 hits, 1 error, 5 men left on base. The run for the Angels coming on the balk. But Kenta Maeda with the bases loaded. Kinsler forcing the issue.
Jansen has allowed 7 stolen bases in 7 attempts.
Shohei's on the move, the pitch upstairs, double clutch, the ball goes into center field. Shohei's on his way to 3rd. So the tying run 90 feet away, And a 1-0 count on David Fletcher. Absolutely forced the issue.
When you've allowed 7 stolen bases in 7 attempts, that means you're going to be fairly deliberate to the plate, and most closers are. And Grandal, double clutch, and still really didn't have much of a chance anyhow.
Right. Stolen base and an error on Grandal. And now you need Grandal to be a wall back there with Shohei 90 feet away. Outfield very shallow with Fletcher at the plate. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fletcher lines one and beyond the reach of Taylor. We're tied at 2. The little engine that could. David Fletcher ties this one up against Kenley Jansen.
And a great at bat by Shohei Ohtani. Worked the walk, steals a base, gets in scoring position. And then David Fletcher, we talked about him earlier, putting the ball in play, comes through with a clutch hit, tying the game up. Another tight game between these two clubs. Fastball up, he brings his hands up, that's around letter high, and he lines it just by Taylor in to left field, tying the game up.
Jansen got ahead of Ohtani, ends up walking him, and it cost him.
Now you got to think in terms of trying to steal again.
No question about it.
And the good thing is, because of that stolen base against Jansen, he's got to try to be quicker to the plate. That's when you can elevate a pitch to Kinsler, who could certainly hit a baseball a long way.
Kinsler 1 for 3 in this one. Single with a run score. Fletcher does it go. That one's up and in. Is looking for some life, and they finally get it via a 2-out walk, a stolen base, throwing error, and a single. And David Fletcher.
Very good speed at first.
Little flare out to shallow right field. That is going to fall in there for a base hit. Fletcher on his way to third. He is going to be stopped right there as Puig fires it back home. The ball gets away. Here comes Fletcher. Drive home safely. For the second consecutive year.
We showed it in the opening. He won last season on a walk-off strikeout. Odd throw to the plate here. All really set up by the walk by Shohei Ohtani. David Fletcher with his speed put the pressure on Yasiel Puig. We know he's got an outstanding throwing on that baseball. Checked up for Ian Kinsler, and in the stop and the hold, and then the baseball gets by Grandal, and David Fletcher able to score.
Dave Roberts certainly not happy the way this thing turned out, but you know what? It all is on the shoulders of his closer, Kenley Jansen. The 2-out walk to Shohei Ohtani after getting ahead of him. And it all opened up from right there. You talk about down to your last breath. That's exactly what the Angels were at. David Fletcher, the Land Rover player of the game.
Oh, no doubt. What a swing. A nice job, too, by Ian Kinsler. But David Fletcher, our Land Rover above and beyond player of the game, that tied it up with an RBI single, then scored the winning run. Not the conventional way to score a run, but the run scores. The Halos pull off this win against the Dodgers here tonight.
Dino Abel was waiting to the last possible second to see if Puig would come up with the ball cleanly. And the error brings Fletcher home. Kinsler's the one that had the base hit out to right field. Let's go down to Alex Curry. Alex.
Dan, there's always a different level of energy here at the Big A when the Dodgers are in town, and you gave them something to cheer about here tonight. Talk about how you guys were able to feed off of this crowd.
I mean, just tough at bats there in the ninth. You know, the crowd's loud. They're into the game. Shohei drew a great walk right there. Stole second. Fletch came up with a huge hit. Huge base hit.
And what kind of spark has David Fletcher brought this team?
I mean, he's a gamer. You know, you put him anywhere on the field, he's making diving plays. You know, a tough at bat at home. Getting on base, making things happen, so he's a great addition.
After a game like this, how important is that one game at a time mindset for this team right now?
I mean, it's huge. We all know, you know, the road trip wasn't the way we wanted it to go, but we want to know at home, baby.
Well, congrats on picking up the big win.
All right, thank you.
The Angels take game one of this freeway series in walk-off fashion. An exciting one. It is still wild and loud inside the Big A right now. But don't go anywhere, because Patrick O'Neill, Tim Salmon, and Jose Mota are going to break it all down next on Angels Live right here on Fox Sports West.